Animal cruelty is evident all across the world. Owners of pets physically abuse their pets and keep them in unbearable living conditions. There are many other ways people abuse animals, such as physical abuse, neglect, dog fighting, puppy mills, and animal experimentation. All of these forms of animal cruelty are hurting these helpless animals, and not many people are aware of the severity of these acts. The first form of animal cruelty is the physical abuse. The most common victims of reported animal abuse cases are with dogs, pit bull type dogs in particular. Pet owners inflict pain on their animal as a form of discipline. People take it to an extreme that really causes a great amount of harm, and in more serious cases, even causes death. An individual can recognize the physical signs of animal abuse. He or she can see open wounds on an animal, loss of fur, inability to stand or walk normally, heavy discharge from the nose and eyes, and some may even witness an owner abusing their pet. If a person witnesses any of these things, they should report it immediately so that they can stop any more abuse. The second form is neglect. Animal neglect is the most common form. Pet owners leave the animal without food, water, or proper shelter. Reasons the owners neglect their pets could be ignorance or just that they don't care. When law enforcement is brought to a case of animal neglect, at first they will try to educate the owner instead of arresting them. There are different stages of neglect. The worst cases are when the animal is so thin that a person can see all of the animal's bones and there is no visible body fat. An animal can also be grossly obese. There is no waist and an abdominal tuck, and there are fat deposits on its chest, spine, tail, neck, and legs. Next is dog fighting. In dog fighting, animals are bred and trained to fight other dogs in an enclosed ring. People watching will place bets on the dog that they think will win. In these fights, the dogs are extremely brutal, and they sometimes even fight to the death. At these dog fighting events, that is not the only illegal activity form that people are taking part in. People also do other gambling, sell drugs, prostitution, and have illegal firearms. It is also very common for children to have a part in the dog fights. The children are used as runners for the betting part of the fights. This is also exposing children to illegal activities and makes them less sensitive to violence. Another form of cruelty is puppy mills. A puppy mill is a place where animals are bred in cramped and filthy conditions. Puppy mills are mainly in the Midwest, but they do exist in all other parts of the United States and even in other countries. These mills sell their animals to pet stores, who sell them to consumers. An animal at a puppy mill is kept in a wire or wooden cage. The adult female dogs are bred twice a year. Once they are no longer able to produce puppies, they are either killed or abandoned. These puppies are taken away from their mothers and are shipped from the mill to broker to a pet store. The animals travel hundreds of miles without proper food, water, or shelter. The puppy's life does not improve once it reaches the pet store. The dogs haven't had much human affection, so they develop undesirable habits and are unsociable. Puppy mills are a cruel form of breeding to make money, and thousands of pets are bred this way every day. The final form of abuse I will be talking about is animal experimentation. There are many types of animals used for experimentation. These animals are kept inside laboratories across the United States. All the animals do are sit in cages and wait for another experiment to be performed on them. All the experimentation that is put on these animals causes them to develop odd behaviors, like spinning in circles or biting their own skin. Animals are tested for products used by humans. The testing may cause animals to be poisoned, blinded, or even killed. The animals go through an entire life of testing and pain, and in the end, they still may end up being killed. Animal cruelty is around us everywhere. Some of it is being prevented, but most goes unnoticed. These innocent animals go through abuse and neglect every day and are forced to suffer through it. If more people were aware of the problem, it could be more easily prevented and taken care of. These animals go through all different kinds of abuse, and nothing is done about it. If we prevent any of these forms of animal abuse, many animals can be protected and live through this cruelty.